Welcome to the Boundary Breakers Collective, your source for boundary-pushing discussions and fresh perspectives on cultivating limitless possibilities. Each week, Helena de Monk brings you smart and conscious women who are challenging conventions. They are transforming their lives, industries, and communities through courage, creativity, and collaboration. Our goal is to shine a light on impactful women who are forging their own paths and reinventing the way we think about boundaries. Whether you're a seasoned leader, entrepreneur, or just starting your journey, our discussions aim to spark fresh perspectives on how you can rise above perceived limitations. Welcome to the Boundary Breakers Collective. Let's get started.
So welcome back. Today I'm here with Christine Gold, and Christine is a gifted psychic medium, an intuitive energy coach, an old soul healer, a Reiki master, and soul purpose mentor. She is the best-selling author of Intuition Saved My Life, a spiritual awakening memoir detailing her journey. Christine created her first oracle deck called The Empathic Journey to help others on their paths. As a sought-after keynote speaker, Christine founded Soul Healers Community and organizes an annual Dream Vision Map and Christ Consciousness Summit. She hosts the popular Heart-Led Soul-Fed podcast and develops courses and mentorships to support empaths, old souls, and sensitives. Christine holds a degree in business administration and has 20 years of experience in sales and marketing before experiencing burnout. She endured corporate burnout, bullying, homelessness, hopelessness, narcissistic relationships, depression, anxiety, and twice attempted to end her life. Through divine intervention, Christine received a spiritual 2x4 to the head and reinvented herself as a medium, healer, and chaplain focused on her soul's purpose. So now Christine guides others through healing anxiety, unworthiness, and overwhelm to unleash inherent gifts. Her journey from the brink of death to thriving in her soul's work inspires empowerment in unleashing one's potential. And that's certainly what she's going to bring here today in the Boundary Breakers Collective talk show. Christine, a warm welcome. I am thrilled to have you here. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you, Helena, for having me and everyone who's tuning in. I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I am great. It is in the middle of the summer in the south of Spain. So, except for temperature, we were talking a little bit about climate change already before we started a formal conversation. Everything is going great. My plants are suffering. And so I'm suffering a little bit because of my connectedness with the plants and with nature. But
Yes.
it is what it is. It is about accepting and integrating and making conscious choices in life in order to keep thriving. So, how about you? What's going on in Calgary?
Gosh, so many things. You're in the height of summer, but August is the in-between from going back to school and the summer, trying to get as much summer as possible, which always seems to pass by so quickly. But we're blessed to have our water back. We had water restrictions for a whole month in June. So I got to practice water conservation and how precious our resources are. And then, of course, there, like I said, we talked about, it seems every summer it's forest fire season.
Yeah.
Not just construction season, but it's forest fire season. So I know Mother Earth and Gaia has the wisdom. These are her cycles. And as much as we like to think we can control the universe, we have no control whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. That's a very important learning. And to me, I believe that we can learn these things only if we are connected to nature. And I love the fact that you're talking about water and preservation. This is something that we encounter here also in the south of Spain. We are on water cuts from April again, probably until the end of September. That means once per week they open the grifo, as they say. And so everybody here has depositos because if not, you cannot. That's the Spanish word for big containers. If not, you cannot
Yes.
survive here. But all the water that is used here is reused. Even the water from doing the dishes, the water from the from the shower. So we use eco products. So how do you call them? Biodegradable. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we use these products. And so everything that we use, we give back to nature. And of course, it's because we have no other option, but I'm used to do that. I do that summer, winter, all the time. Because when you look at how we use and consume all our resources, we're not aware anymore of what it takes to produce those, what it takes to bring those to us as gifts. So there's a lot to learn there from nature and from climate and from climate change, as some people call it. There's a lot of things that can bring us very important lessons. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Boundary breaking, Christine. Why do you consider yourself as a boundary breaker? Your introduction already shows it. That's a rhetorical question, but still, I love to hear your opinion and your vision.
I believe as children, when we come into this earth, we are boundary breakers. But unfortunately, we, like myself, get it shut down because either our families don't understand, are living in fear and judgment. I used to hear the term, what would the neighbors think? I would tell my mom that grandma had come to visit me. She had passed many years ago. And just the look of horror on her face, I could tell right away I was not safe. I did not feel safe. I would be shunned. I would be ridiculed. I would be punished. So then I shut everything down. And that's what
Mm,
many of us, the women that I work with, that's what happens to them when they don't feel safe. Or there's a punishment of some type, they retreat back into their body, and then they decide, if I behave a certain way, if I get a gold star, if I'm a people pleaser, if I'm codependent, if I'm a martyr, a perfectionist, then I get a reward out of it instead of being
mm,
punished all the time. And that's exactly what happened until my dark night of the soul, which I know many people are going through right now and have gone through since the beginning of time. It's just a matter of its choice, like you said. So through that dark night of the soul, I decided I was going to reclaim who I truly am at a soul level, which is we all are God embodied with a spark of human. I truly believe it. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that have a religious wound to heal. I understand that. People might feel triggered when they hear that. But I know that all of that old systems are breaking down. Everything is breaking down. And I decided, instead of being a rebel without a cause, I'm a rebel with a cause. And my cause is to help other women wake up. It's called the wake up, shake up, where it's just okay. All the stuff you've been doing does not work anymore.
yeah.
And do you want to repeat this lifetime? Because we come here for soul's contract, whatever those lessons are, that's your journey. I am just here to guide you. I don't tell you what to do, because that's what's been happening to us for lifetimes, is people telling us what to do. The
Mhm,
system, breaking out of the system, breaking out of the box, breaking paradigms, breaking through ceiling, and knowing that we are part of the universe, but we are the universe, and we are guardians of the earth as well, and the animals and the plants, and we're all interconnected. After going through all of those lessons, and there were many, like I said, that spiritual 2x4 to the head, or a lot of people go through a lot of dark nights. They go through a lot of suffering. And as Buddha says, human is to suffer. To be human is to suffer. But the choice is, you decide, I'm not going to suffer anymore. It's a
mhm,
choice. It really is.
mhm.
But a lot
Yeah.
of us are on that hamster wheel, which I was as well, chasing money, chasing material items, chasing things that might make me temporarily feel good. And then, oh gosh, it's an addiction. It really is. You pick one, we all are addicts in some way, and we're
Mhm,
all deciding and choosing to love, to have joy, to have peace, to know what
mhm.
abundance is. And abundance is not money, it's an energy.
Exactly. Mm.
So
Yeah.
yes, I've always been told I break the rules. Even in school, I was in trouble all the time, because teachers would be like, "Oh, that she's trouble." Because I didn't want to listen to anybody or anything. I really align with Wayne Dyer. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's written over 50 books. He's like the godfather of ego. We have very similar story. Like, upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
He was very much the rebel without a cause until he got into the military. Boy, that set him straight, but in a way to his destiny, basically.
Yeah. I I so echo with you, Christine. I think it is so important that we create that awareness that and also create the action, the call to action in order to change it. Because this is about consciousness, it is about conscious choices and intentions. And I work with women like you. Like you, I work with women that are looking for that fulfillment, that are looking to build that unstoppable momentum, to find that in every aspect of their lives. Because our lives and the systems that have been created are so linear and so divided and put in polarities, and there's no wholeness anymore, there's no integrity anymore, and we lose ourselves in different roles, we lose ourselves in certain patterns, in habits, in whatever is expected from us, and we actually don't know who we are anymore. And so we invest a lot of time and energy in our businesses or in our careers, and then luckily, one day we wake up and we say, what is this really? Is this all there is?
That's
And
right.
no, it's not. And then it is about doing the work. And creating these Boundary Breakers Collective talk shows is one of the ways of, for me, of supporting women in order to, I would say, kick them that awareness somehow. And also, of course, bring women that have done that have been there, that got the t-shirt, and that also sometimes created programs and solutions and strategies that we can learn from. I'm very grateful to have you here with your experience, but mainly with your wisdom and your consciousness to wake up, to really make that wake up call for people, like this is not going to last. And if it's not going to last, how are you going to process this? How are you going to survive and thrive after the big, I don't know what? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and a lot of us, I want to talk about past lives because I work with women that have issues with their neck
Mm,
or their throat chakra because
mm,
their voice was shut down. And
yeah.
they were also, a lot of witches were hung and burned at the stake as well. So if you ever, because I know people that don't like to wear any necklaces or anything around their neck because they feel constriction. So that's why I, started my podcast 5 years ago because I wanted to share my story. And there are a lot of people that resonate with very similar, or they can go, oh, I can see that. Yeah, I've been there. I feel that, and I'm feeling inspired. And that's what and hope. Hope is, some people see hope as a negative thing. Oh, I'm so hopeless and I just hope and I'm wishy-washy. No, hope is a mustard seed that turns into faith. You
Mm,
have to have hope, and then it turns into faith. And once you have faith installed in your system, then you align with knowing that you're here for a reason, you have purpose, you're
yeah.
worthy, and to speak up and speak your truth. I also teach women how to share their stories. I'm very much about speaking because it's very powerful. And there are a lot of women that are coming in and realizing that their chakra was shut down, or they realize they can sing. And I'll tell you, every one of us can sing. Just have to discover that voice. And there's so many ways to do it, whether it's humming, breathing meditations. I like the breath of fire as well. I practice a lot of yoga and qigong. Those are powerful practices to open up our energetic centers and to reactivate throat chakra, which is an instrument in our communication center.
Yeah,
And whether
absolutely.
it's through art or writing or singing, dancing, that's really who we're here to express ourselves as, because we weren't
Absolutely.
allowed to express who we truly are. We had to put that mask on or wear many masks to fit in. And I don't
Yeah,
fit into anything. And that's amazing.
it is. Absolutely. So, what is it that, in terms of mindset, how would you describe your mindset in order to feel that strength and that hope and faith to live your life by design, not to fit in, because I think that is something that is very valuable as information and strategy for women that say, yes, this resonates, and now what, how to do this.
I hear a lot in the marketing world about branding. Now, of course, when you think of branding, you think of Nike or Coca-Cola or whatever. That's something way different. I'm talking about your identity, your brand. Who are you
Mhm.
at a soul level? And there's a lot of women that have no idea who they are. In fact, I had a workshop 2 weekends ago called Empath and Narcissist Heal the Power Struggle Forever. And it was my most highly attended workshop. So that
Wow.
said, that really hits a point for a lot of people. They're waking up to the fact that they have narcissistic, toxic relationships in their family, in their friendships, in their partnerships, in the workplace, especially, and in government or any of those types of systems. It's really about embodying and practicing. And I'm talking about chakra work, learning about your energy centers. I'm talking about meditation. I'm talking about breath, like your breath work. I'm talking about cold plunging. I'm talking about all these therapies like osteopath, acupuncture, working with essential oils, working with plants, working with herbs, not drinking alcohol. I quit drinking 2 years ago. Alcohol is a gateway. It's a gateway. It's a gateway to, I would say, depression and really dumbing down, dimming down.
Numbing, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
numbing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And for me, it made me be more eccentric and wild, and because I wasn't allowed to be. So I really saw what was going on there. Any type of drug, food, it's about having a holistic, a clean life as much as possible on a
Mm.
soul level, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and in relationships. And I will say relationships are the biggest thing. That's why we're here. Relationship with ourself, relationship with others, and relationship with God. And I
Yeah.
also want to talk about crystals. A lot of people think, oh, it's just a crystal. Oh, no. The earth is a crystalline grid. We are part of that grid. And the Schumann's resonance is the global energy construct of Earth, and it resonates at 4.32 hertz. I work with a lot of healing frequencies as well. I have seen people heal with healing frequencies. I have seen people heal with Reiki. I teach people Reiki because I want them to learn how to heal themselves
Mm.
and then turn around and clear their water, clear their plants, clear their homes, smudging,
Mm.
saging.
Yeah.
Very important because that's a ritual. Why do you think the indigenous are so attuned to the earth? Because they've been practicing these things for thousands of years. They know. Why do they go into a sweat lodge? Because they need to detox. We need to
Mm.
detox ourselves.
Yeah.
That's something I do every quarter, but I practice every day. Meditation, prayer, gratitude journals, and dream journal. That's another one. A lot of women tell me they don't remember their dreams. And I'm
Mm.
like, it's just a practice. You just have to ask, say a prayer before you go to bed, have your pen and paper beside you or a notebook, or I put it in my phone because I'm a nomad. So I can't carry all these books and crystals around with me when I'm traveling. So it's all about practice. Get into practice, have a
Mm.
ritual, become a shaman of the earth because we are all shamans. We all are all healers. When people say, "Oh, you have gifts, you're a medium," I'm like, "So do you." I
We
am
all.
no above or better than anybody else. It's just I chose to practice and really lean into the spiritual side. And that's the biggest piece. Spirituality is not a religion. Spirituality is not woo, because my podcast is called Heart Led Soul Fed. It's practical spirituality. You
Mhm.
have to be grounded and you have to be connected at the same time, meeting in the heart, because love is the biggest energy in the world.
Mm.
It's the
Just
most,
1 second.
yeah.
Sorry, I have to interrupt because My dog is making noise because somebody arrives. I'm just going to let her
Okay.
out. I'm going to cut this out just a second. You're recording into paper. Sorry for that. Yeah, Christine, that so resonates with me. And I recognize so many of your practices that I also integrated in my daily life. I even get up 1 hour earlier in order to do a lot of these things. And what I hear from a lot of women that I'm working with is, I don't have time for this. And then I say, this is a question of priorities. This is about, because you are always serving others and dealing with others' voices that are louder than yours, and your practices and your rituals and your self-care are like at the last of your really down on your priority list. And there again, it is about making choices. It is about setting intentions, because if you do not take care of yourself, nobody else will. If you don't feel you're worthy to take care of and to install all these things in order to connect with yourself and with others and with nature or with spirit or with God, then basically nobody else will do that for you. And it will help you tremendously, because people think this is losing our time, because this is bad time management. And I say, no, you will win enormously, because your focus, your energy will race, and you will have a lot more done in a day, and you have a lot more aligned with your mission and with your vision, instead of just continuing your rat race without ever asking yourself, what am I doing, why am I doing it, and how can I do it even faster or shorter, or whatever it is that worries you. And that are not the questions that you should ask yourself if you want to change that pattern in your life. But it's hard work for many people, isn't it?
At the beginning,
Yeah.
because the
Mhm.
ego is fighting. The ego
Yeah.
is, ego is all about edging God out. It's wanting you to keep you on the hamster wheel because it's trying to keep you in survival mode. That's what the ego
Exactly.
is for. The ego is not the enemy. However, the ego
Mm,
doesn't sit here and block your third eye. That's exactly what it's doing. It's a mask. Rather, the ego I always say it's behind, it's a support. It's my support system. It's my spine,
connected. Yeah.
actually. Yeah. And there is something to be said about deep relaxation. I am very good at it.
Mm,
When I walk into a room, I can pick up the person that is the darkest or is so disconnected from spirit. That is an empathic ability. Unfortunately, a lot of people will attune into people like that, and then they get drained by someone like that because
mm,
they want to fix them. That's not what we do. We observe, not absorb. Now, women
mm,
that are like, I don't have time, that's very dismissive. And it's time to stop dismissing yourself
mm.
and say,
Yeah,
I am worthy of this time. Can you not carve
exactly.
out 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night to start? And then you'll realize, wow, this feels really good.
Mm,
I'm going to continue doing this. Maybe I'll do 10 minutes in the morning now
mhm,
and 10 at
mm,
night. And then eventually, like myself, I don't have coffee or anything until I've done my meditations, my prayers, my journaling. And I did Pilates this morning. I like to shake things up. And then I sat down and had my coffee, and it felt luxurious because
mm.
I like, okay, I did all these things for myself. And now I
Yeah.
get to enjoy this cup of coffee. And that's about that's a gratitude practice.
Yeah.
And when you embody those and say yes to yourself more and more, you'll realize that self-care is not selfish,
Mhm.
that those people can wait, and you need boundaries too. Why
Exactly.
are you allowing your life to be run by others? Why are you always saying yes?
Hmm.
When did you decide that your time is not valuable? Your energy is not valuable? And once you make that switch and you claim, okay, you know what? I didn't like the feeling of that. And that's your intuition. You'll get it right in your gut. Most times people get it in their gut and they'll dismiss it. Or they can call it a red flag. They can call it whatever they want. I'm saying look for the green flags. You know what the red flags feel like? So ask, invite, align with that energy, saying, I will only allow the highest vibrational types of people and work and contracts and clients to come into my life.
I love that.
Full stop.
Love that. Because breaking boundaries is also setting boundaries. It is setting limits. It is deciding for yourself what you will tolerate and not. And these are very important choices. And like you said, a lot of us are people pleasers, and like it's in our DNA to serve. And it's very hard to do that. And so we're always the last on the list, which
Mhm.
is not serving us, but it's also not serving other people. And the problem that other people make about you changing things is basically their process, not yours.
That's right. When you say no, and that's a complete sentence, watch the people that go, what? No. Oh, come on. Yeah, oh, come on. You did it before. You can do it again. Just
Mm-hmm.
keep saying no. And I actually have a video on YouTube. It's one of my most highly watched, called 5 Tips to Bully Proof Yourself. Because they become bullies. When they start taking and you're giving, they are bullies. But you are enabling this as well. And once you cut the supply, the
Yeah.
energy, you'll notice who are your biggest offenders. And let me tell you, they are family. I have so many clients that say, I cannot talk to my mom anymore. And I'm like, that's fine. You put yourself time and distance. That's the biggest piece. If you're dealing with an energy vampire or a narcissist, there are sociopath and psychopaths. That's a whole nother conversation. But you are not a slave. The time of Egyptian slaves are over. That
Mm.
was like thousands of years ago. The time of the 50s mom cooking dinner, and that's all she did. And she looked pretty and she was perfect. And she had perfect family and white picket fence. And like Vandana Shiva says, there was no value given to that woman. She was a queen. She ran a business and it was called family.
Mm.
So we were all taught that. I know I was, that the woman just cooked and cleaned and didn't go to work. And many of us we're unlearning that
Exactly.
BS, because it is BS. And it's like an old computer program, your mind. They call it the
Mhm.
reptilian mind. You can uninstall that at any time and reinstall,
Exactly. And
upgrade. It's a choice. Here we go with choice again.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why it is also so important to have role models to see and learn from people who have gone that journey, who have done that. Because there's many women tell me like there are no role models. And I say, if you don't find them, I will make a platform to offer them because I know a lot of amazing women that break boundaries and that know that. And it's also about going back into history because we believe that it has always been like that. And I'm pretty sure, and research and history shows that women have not always been, seen and treated the way they are. There's so many changes that have been in, put on how we show up and how what we look like and what we can do and what we can say in the last couple of centuries, but we have been a lot more powerful and resourceful in other centuries, you would say in other lives. And I believe also going there to see what we can do, the capacity that we have, the capability that we have is also another resource of building that faith, like you call it, and spark this initiative and is making choices and making decisions to do the things differently, to do the things that are relevant to us, that are really of value for us. It's a very important choice. And it's amazing the work that you do in order to support women. It's also the work that I do. And it is important to find as many platforms and to offer as many strategies for women to sponsor them in that journey because it's a journey that we don't have to do, that we don't have to make alone. That's why it is also so important to build these communities of support. I guess you do that too. You also have communities and groups that interact in order to exchange and experiment and be vulnerable and learn from each other and cheer each other's successes, right?
Absolutely. And we're really close to that golden age of Aquarius, which is all about community, connection, collaboration, co-opetition, not competition. We were taught as women to compete with each other. No, none of that, because it takes a village to raise, as they say, children, but to also raise ourselves. And it really is about seeing somebody have the work that I do. I love when I see someone have an aha moment, an epiphany on their own, and they're super excited to share with me or the group. I sit back and I'm like, I love this. This is the best part of the work that I do, is
Mm.
seeing transformation,
Yeah.
because people don't want more information. You can get that anywhere. You can
Anywhere.
get it
Yes,
anywhere. They
exactly.
want the
Yeah.
transformation. And I
Mhm.
work with people that want to do the work. I only work
Yeah.
with people that want to do the work, because what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah,
The ultimate
exactly.
goal is the transformation, whether it's mind, body, soul, all of it, all combined. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm part of many groups, and I love just connecting other women in community to heal together, because we are so powerful in numbers, in
Mhm.
groups.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also part of many groups and I also create them myself. And when people ask me, who's your audience? I say, my audience is smart, conscious, and high achieving women. And then sometimes they say, wow, that's a lot. That's really limiting it. And I say, yeah, really. If they are not smart, if they're not conscious, if they're not high achieving, they will not do the work that I am here to offer them to do. And so this self-qualifying is essential. Consciousness is, if you are not conscious of what is going on and what is your part in the world and how you can really activate and manifest that, then you won't do the work. Absolutely, it is. And I also believe that we don't have to do the work alone. There's so many possibilities to get sponsored, to get mentored, to get coached. And like you say, people don't look for information. You can get that anywhere. They're looking for transformation, and also they're looking for community and experiences. That's why there's so many things going on right now that don't work anymore, also in the area of personal development. If you are Everything is available online, and if it's not available, you can create it with AI. But that doesn't give you this energy and this essence of transformation. And if you can create in groups, if you can create this energy and this transcendence of the individual, where you as a group contribute and participate and interact in order to support each other's transformation, that is bringing a special energy, and that is what women are looking for. And
Mhm.
it's not only in the area of personal growth. I believe that we can make that in any area or discipline. And I'm so looking forward to see this manifesting also in organizations where this consciousness is also activated and where we are doing business in a completely different way.
It's shifting. That's part of the age of Aquarius. Old
Yeah.
systems are being broken down. There is no polarization anymore. As much as people would like to, like, we're breaking systems, we're breaking everything has to fall apart in order
Mhm.
to be new,
Yeah.
to see things with new eyes. And that's what 2020 was about as well. It's the one eye activate, it's the third eye activation. It's coming
Yeah.
online. It's all systems online. We're all coming aboard. And if you don't ask, that someone would say to me, did you ask? And I'm like, no, then you don't get it. So if you don't ask, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. You just start asking. Look at
Mhm.
people that are doing more than you are, better than you, that you want to be. Then grab a notebook and take notes. Don't be jealous.
Yeah.
Take notes. And that's what mentoring is about. That's what mentors are here for. Look up to the
Mhm.
people that inspire you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and I also want to go on a segment about certifications. I am seeing a lot of this happen a couple of years ago where women, oh, I need another certification. I need another certificate. I need another this. That's great. However, you have to stop at some point and integrate and actually hands-on and go out and use and learn and embrace it,
Mhm.
because there's that worthiness wound, thinking I need another certification. Then people
Absolutely.
will actually see me and think, oh, she's an expert. No, you already are. It's called life experience.
Mhm.
So that's
Absolutely.
the
Mm.
biggest piece. And in-person events and retreats that I do, way more powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything that is online is easy, and there are a lot of, I would say, facilitation skills in order to also build that safe space and build the interaction and the experience. Although there's nothing that can beat the in-person activities. Absolutely. I also do in June, I do co-creation weekends for women entrepreneurs, creators like you and me. So it's not like a commercial program. It's just me also needing this experience of being together with like-minded women, and where we share an experience. And this is also something very important, where we can receive, because we are
Yeah.
givers, we are givers. It's in our DNA. And we have a lot of problems receiving. We have problems receiving compliments. We have problems receiving or celebrating our successes. We have problems, a lot of women entrepreneurs, to receive money for our service,
Oh, yeah.
because of, again, this word. And so building this reception container and practicing receiving with other women is just the most amazing experience that you can have. And you can have that in real life by just organizing these things. And basically, what I sometimes think is like, why don't we do more of that? Because it's just sending out the invitation and then people just accepting that invitation, and it just happens. And what I did, there was no program. There was nothing of program. So I didn't spend 2 weeks preparing that. As I said, it was not a commercial program. It was just like, okay, let's just be together and see how we can create this energy that is accelerating experiences for each other. And it was just amazing. And actually, everybody can do this. Everybody can invite other people to come together with the intention to shift the energy. It's so
Yeah.
simple. Yeah,
Because when
it's so
one
simple.
accelerates, we all accelerate. We all win.
Exactly. Absolutely. How would you like to bring your most important learning to the audience, to the people that are watching this or listening here, as like a closing of this conversation? We can go for hours because we
Yeah, of
walk very
course.
similar paths. What is for you the most important learning that you have and that you would like to share for today?
Thinking. Thinking I'm going to change, thinking I'm going to start this business, thinking I'm going to end this relationship when you knew it was done 3 years ago. Stop thinking and start doing. Just go and do it. Stop procrastinating, because I know I have, because I want to be, one of my goals is to be a centenarian, 100+ years. Unfortunately, my mom and dad died just around the age of 70. I don't want to be on my deathbed with regrets. That's what I want to leave people with. I have 50 Christmases left.
Beautiful. I love
Mhm.
that. I love that.
That puts it into perspective. If that doesn't light a fire under your ass, I don't know what will.
That's beautiful and powerful. Thank you so much, Christine, for
Thank
all
you.
your wise, all the gems that you brought here and that you shared here, and for your last wise advice. It's indeed stop thinking, start doing, and the world will keep turning. Nobody will die if you do something, if you act on what you are convinced of that is the right thing for you. Absolutely true. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom here, and looking forward to your next projects and your next possibilities. So if you want to find out more about Christine, all the information is here below. And make sure to connect with her and to reach out if there's anything that you want to discuss with her. I'm very sure that she is open to support you and that she has your back. We both have. So thank you so much, and see you next week. Bye for now.